What's going on? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Watchable with me, John LaFranca. Hey, we're back. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry. I'm eating some food because I'm trying to get situated for the show, trying to make sure I'm not falling out. But we're back. We are here, and we've missed a week of action because I was away. I had to take care of myself. I was sick. I was trying to make sure that I wasn't gonna essentially be out of commission for longer. And so, but now my voice is back. Everything feels all good. We're gonna be doing what we normally do on this show, which is having fun, making ourselves great, and having the best show that we can have in the world of boxing and beyond. Because that's right, this is the Watch Report. This is the hottest show in all the globe, right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. That is your right. And if you would, if you're tuning in, leave a like on the stream. If you're here, comment your thoughts and opinions on the show in the chat, and we should be able to bring it up here for the world to see. Subscribe to the channel and share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. That is right, and we are so glad to be back here with you on today. It's been a whirlwind of action and news and topics and so much more, and we appreciate all the time, all the energy, all the effort, and all of the essentially grandeur that you all bring to the table, because again, indeed, you all are the backbone of this show, and we couldn't do this without you, and we greatly appreciate everything that you all bring about. Absolutely. But again, we don't want to waste time. We got so much stuff to cover. We got Dubois and Usyk. The card, at least apparently right now, has been fully set and ready to be made apparent for the world to be able to see. We've got more news in the realm of debates, debates moving around the ethos of boxing, with a problem with running, with Devin Haney being the poster child of this problem. Is there indeed a problem with running in the sport right now, especially what we saw over last weekend with Canelo, with Devin Haney, with Ryan Garcia? It's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths in the sport, and there's something that may need to be fixed. What that is, we're gonna have the conversation as well. So we're gonna go over action that happened last week in the boxing world, like we're never reaching the controversial loss or controversial win that he got against Suarez. And also, if we got some time, hey, NBA, let's not forget, the playoffs still popping, and we just saw the Celtics take a big hit, I mean a major blow, to their chance to get into not just this year's NBA championship, but for years down the line, with an injury to Jason Tatum. Oh yes, we got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time to do it. So again, I don't want to hold anybody up, and I don't want to be somebody who is, again, long-winded, because we got a show to do. We got obligations. We need to make sure we get this done. So, without further ado, let's jump into the show. Or actually, before we do, let's read what the people have to. Yo, Preacher AJ Riggs, what's good with you? How you doing? Appreciate you coming back. I'm glad I'm back. Let's see what you have to say. What's up, Preacher Man and boxing fans? The excessive running rule always has been around, but not enforced as much. But can't this problem be solved by smaller rings instead than requesting bigger rings? Again, we're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on all of that right now. So without further ado, hey, let's get into the topics of the show. Let's jump into let's do what we do best. Since we're talking about boxing, first and foremost, it's time to step into the ring. Hey, oh yes, let's ring the bell. Let's get it started. Round one of this show going underway, as we have to discuss what we know we got to talk about, which is the running problem, the running rule when it comes to the world of boxing. Yes, indeed. We are in the midst of a very controversial type of day because of the essentially the almost I'm not going to call it unforeseen, but the consistent problem that now has really raised a lot of questions with boxing fans of running in boxing. People don't engage. For some reason, boxers, at least especially on the weekend, everybody was expecting something to be great. Everybody didn't try, or most people didn't try. It takes two to tango, and one person ain't trying to tango in the slightest. And as everybody's saying, yo, where's the stopping to this? Why isn't this being capitulated? What you gotta nip this in the bud? Because we pay for this, for a fight Fans pay to see fighting. They do. Fans pay to see people engage in the ring. Fans pay to see people take risks. Now, I am not saying that every fight's got to be a knockdown, drag-out brawl. No. But also, we don't want to waste money on one person trying not to make a fight happen in the first place. Like with William Skull. Like with Devin Haney, when Haney was just trying to win strictly to secure his next payday against what would have been a rematch with Ryan Garcia. We don't know if that fight is still going to happen. Most likely will, but as of right now, he was just trying to make sure he took care of his end of the bargain without putting himself in any sort of type of danger. That is not boxing. Let's be clear on that. Let's be clear right now. That is not boxing in the slightest. That is not boxing when we talk about the sweet science of this sport. We got to make a baseline before we get into the debate of whether or not there is a problem or isn't, because people have got too many descriptions, and some people are misinformed. When running is when you are actively avoiding your opponent and avoiding any sort of engagement to the opposition. This does not mean that you are using the ring. Using the ring is good. Using footwork is good. Using distance is good. Being able to fight from the outside is good. Being defensively slick is good. All of those things are good. And we've seen greats do those things. Again, I keep going back to same examples. Pernell Whitaker, James Toney, Napoleon Loche. We've seen other quote-unquote, not even quote-unquote, defensive or outboxing style fighters who go through and they are still boxing well while still keeping themselves safe, but it's not running. Running is when you are making a deliberate decision to say, forget using my skills to be able to score, win, and beat my opponent. Smart. I will not even attempt to get in the fire in the slightest and do just the bare minimum to score, get up on the round, and then get out. Nothing else. No other type of momentous occasions. No trying to control the fight. Just strictly trying to do the bare minimum and then being, okay, hands off, I can walk away. This is the type of fighting that we saw, again, over the last weekend, that people have been complaining to see from other people. Again, like with Shakur Stevenson, who's another poster child of the quote-unquote running style. But this is where we are right now in the world of boxing. We have a lot of people now saying, because of the backlash from what we saw between Ryan, Haney, and Tio on that card in New York, and followed up by Canelo directly afterwards, shining light on the problem. We see everybody not trying to fight. What's going on? And why can't this be stopped? Now, Jay Riggs, you brought up a good point when you were talking about how there is a rule to make it so that there isn't excessive running. Absolutely. But it hasn't been always enforced. No question it has. There's been plenty of times where there is a stipulation in place that the ref can come in and punish somebody for actively not trying to engage in the opponent in an appropriate boxing manner. Again, not just saying, oh, you got to slug it out, but abruptly and deliberately not trying to make a fight in the first place. That can be docked. That can be a problem. That is something that the ref can, hey, stop it. We see it in UFC as well. UFC gets a UFC fighter gets in the ring. There's not a lot of engagement. There's a lot of dull action because one of the opponents or both are not doing anything of substance. Referee stands him up. If it keeps on happening, he gets into the ring, calls time, and says, hey, yo, stop. I don't know what y'all are doing. I don't know what this is, but this ain't what the fans came to see, and this ain't what you all trained for. You all have to make a fight. We've seen it, again, UFC, we've seen it in Muay Thai, all those other things. Boxing, for some reason, it's not as enforced as it should be. Another point that J. Riggs brought up was, couldn't this be fixed by making the ring smaller? Yes, it could. And more so, it could be fixed by having a standardized ring that's used across the board. We've seen it countless times before. during negotiation tables or during negotiation talks, one fighter who most likely is the A-side fighter with most control at the table, the bigger star, can control the size of the ring, can control plain and simple. They can control how big the ring is on the night of the fight. Jake Paul did it with Mike Tyson because it was MVP promotions. We've seen Tank do it. We've seen Floyd do it. We've seen We've seen Tim Tszyu do it. We've seen, I don't know, I can't say we've seen Fury do it because that's a little bit different. Because I think heavyweight rings are a little bit different. But regardless of which, we've seen boxers be able to use their weight and their power and throw around their ability to control what the ramifications of a fighter. We've seen it. It helps and it hurts. If you are a Devin Haney, you make the ring as big as possible so you can have the room to run. You can have the room to move. You can have the room to operate. If you're Canelo, like he did against, I believe, Jermell Charlo, he made the ring smaller. So there wasn't as much room to run. Dave Benavidez, his rings, I believe, no, he'll fight in anything. But his preferred thing is he'll fight in a smaller ring so he can cut you off easier. If you're an aggressive fighter, you want a smaller ring. If you are a more elusive fighter, you want a bigger ring so you can move and stay away from the power. It would help, absolutely. If there was a standardized ring that was no more can be negotiated. You can't change it. You can't move it. You can't augment it. It's just, this is what it is. And that size, we can debate, we can capitulate on which one should be the standard thing. But that would be a way to fix it, but I don't think it would be the main way to fix it. Because even that, still, a person, they know what they're doing, they can still make it so that they don't have to engage in the fight. Because, again, we've seen it before in small and big rings. So that is a decision, and it's a fix. But I don't think it's the main fix that needs to be done. Canelo did it to BJ. He did do that. I forgot he did do that. And so it's like the conversations revolved around how do you punish the fighters monetarily for not making a fight. Some people say doctor pay. Some people say don't make it so that you can't, that they can make so much. Start implementing the UFC style. So make it so that no fighter is able to get as much unless they get a fighter bonus for having a fight of the night, knockout of the night, or whatever the case may be. That is also not a great issue because that then also goes into you're hurting the sport, because one reason why boxing is so conducive to this level of excitement, not just because of the style of fighting, but also it's because the more money you can make makes people want to get in here and actually make a career. And I've always been for making the fighters money. I've always been for making it so that the fighters can have the ability to be set for life. I don't want money taken away from athletes. I don't want money robbed from athletes. I want you to be able to get what you deserve. Absolutely. But while that, again, the moniker of adding more money, if you have a better performance, is great. Love that. I don't know if taking away money is the thing to really make it work. Now, it could be rule change from the standpoint of scoring. That could be a way that we could get a opportunity to get this type of action, this type of change. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm blanking. That we want to have to happen. A rule change in judging from the standpoint of what is judged in the ring. Not saying that, I don't want to say that we devalue everything, but one of the things that they used to do back in the day, before the rules of boxing changed, was how they scored points based on, you had power punches, you had jabs, and the standard things that we have now. Absolutely. Things are gauged more than others. Power punches are gauged more than jabs. Headshots are gauged more than body shots. There's a whole criteria for what does or doesn't make a fighter win or lose a fight in the eyes of the judges. That for the most part, is standardized. But there's still, again, every judge is different from what they value the most. But back in the day, more than just, what the judges valued, the standard ruling, if I have my knowledge correct, was the fact that it was based on activity. If you landed more, you were given that round. If you were landed or was more actively, throwing punches, you were given the ability, you were given more, I don't want to say more benefit of the doubt, but you were given the like, okay, yeah, this man is making the fight and winning the fight. And that's why you got those wars that we always got on a consistent basis. The activity from heavyweights all the way down to, featherweight, lightweight. It was because you had the ability to show, or to show boxers always being active, because the judging, or more so the scoring of rounds, was different. And it was predicated more towards action than it was to just implicit value of one punch over another. Again, nothing's perfect. Absolutely. But an idea may be to change how rounds are scored to some degree, to encourage more activity and not encourage just being, again, doing the bare minimum. But this is a wide sweeping question. I want to hear your thoughts as well on this whole topic, because I want to see what you had to say. He knew he was going to run, and they were arguing about the size of the ring. Yep, they were, J Riggs, when it came to talking about when it came to talking about Canelo. Yo, LPG, salute to you. How you doing? Appreciate you coming through. I'm back. I'm sorry if you ain't been here. I'm back because I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. I was for about ever since last week after I did my show on Tuesday. The voice went worse because of the weekends of shows and me yelling, and also the outright sickness just got to me. Further hurt myself, or rather further hurt my ability to talk. And next thing you know, I would say, hey, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I'll let y'all know. I can't. Because if I do, it's gonna be, I had to get some rest. Had to. So, we're here now. I'm back, regularly scheduled program with you, the viewing and listening public. And again, we do appreciate all of your support, no doubt. But I would love to hear from you all. How do you feel about this change in rules? If there is a change that needs to be made in the first place from the sport to stop this level of running all throughout the boxing world. Because this is going to turn a lot of people off. Let's be real. This problem, if it keeps on persisting, and if it keeps on being a problem that fans can identify, that casual fans can constantly point back to and say, yeah, why would I want to watch this? This is going to lead to a very dangerous type of rhetoric that's going to draw a lot of fans away. And right after we just had a bunch of phenomenal fights happen, and I mean like truly phenomenal fights happen, and people were saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to be, let me get in on this. Genuine. And so it's like, not gonna lie, I'm a little bit frustrated that every time this goes back to the same arguments, or rather same critiques I've been having about the sport in some way, shape, or form, whether it's outside of the ring or inside of the ring. This sport keeps shooting itself in the foot no matter what type of success it gets, and it boggles my mind. It really does frustrate me. If we get good fights, it's bad decisions. If we get again, like with Turkey, a promoter trying to make fights happen on a consistent basis, well, sometimes people pull out. People get sick. Or if we get a genuine fight where they get in the ring, all the hype is there, something goes awry that causes everybody to look at it as, oh, I can't believe it. I fell for the okie doke again in the sport. Failed me yet again. And mind you, I'm trying to introduce my friends into the sport. I'm trying to introduce my friends into wanting to be a part of, the boxing regime. Getting them excited all for the major fights happening, Telling them about Inoue, telling them about Navarrete, telling them about Canelo, Crawford, all these people. And they get some interest. But then when they tune in and they see this, they see Devin Haney, they see a William Scott. When they're supposed to see Canelo looking at his best, they see a Devin Haney who's supposed to be a great boxer, not showing a third of any of his talent, just straight up doing the minimum. They're like, man, why did I ever listen to you? And it got me looking like a fool, because it's like, oh, you talk about this? This ain't good. And I'm like, no, it is good. It's just you just so happen to catch it exactly when it was bad. And I can't stand it. It's always right when we have an opportunity to capture the masses, something goes awry. And it's so frustrating. It really doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Navarrete, see El Pichi, what you got to say? Anyway, Navarrete fights no holding or running boxing like real men should. Do you have an opinion on the Navarrete stoppage? Yes, I do. I'm going to cover that right after this. But I just wanted to say one more thing about this whole running problem before we move on to the other topics of the day. When we look at Devin Haney, because again, part of the title is talking about Devin Haney, which is right now the poster boy for this whole running debacle. We continue to see this happen. And we got people like Richardson Hitchens praising this brother, saying, oh yeah, he boxed great. You know why he said that? Because he fights that same way. Why do you think I don't like Richardson Hitchens? Hitchens, to some degree, is a poor man's Devin Haney, because of the fact that he's nowhere close to as good, but he fights in the bare minimum outboxing style of trying to avoid any and all confrontation. And it does not make for a great looking fight or a competitive fight. And once he gets put against somebody, because again, his boxing talent isn't all that great. Once he gets put against somebody that can actually, stay with him, done. He's gonna be done. And again, we saw with Devin Haney, when somebody can stay with him, he's got a lot of problems. But we have to be mindful that the more we go about watching and seeing this type of issue in the sport, the more and more we're going to have a real fixture with fans turning away or saying, I'm not interested or I don't care. It's hard to make more stars in the sport when there's continually a star that turns people away. And that's what we got right now with fighters like Devin Haney, like William Scott, who when put in the ring with people, again, like Canelo, and it's supposed to be a showcase of one of the best talents in the world against somebody who, hey, we love an underdog, and now that underdog didn't even try to do anything, where it's like, shoot, this is that's how they feel. They spit at the sport because it leaves a bad taste in everything about what they're supposed to be watching. And it does in no way, shape, or form does it help. In no way does it help in the slightest. In the slightest. And it's just it's a problem. It's just a major problem. But now we got and also LPG, I see it. O'Shaquie Foster? Nah, yeah. If O'Shaquie gets to him, he can be the guy to put him out. Absolutely he can. Honestly, there's a bunch, again, I don't value Richardson Hitchens highly. There's a bunch of people that I feel that can take him out. With ease. With ease. Because he is somebody who, nothing about him sticks out to me, and everything about him is just a poor man's version of what other better technical boxers do. And once he really gets exposed, not saying I want him to be, but I have no doubt it's going to happen. And once it does, it's going to be bad. Oh, you mean Foster's a runner? Well, shoot, Foster will still be. Again, even with the running, for me, he doesn't have to run against Hitchens. And again, I will capitulate. Little biased against Hitchens. I just don't like the way that he fights. That's me. So, excuse me if this specific opinion isn't as informed as I normally have. Normally, I'm not biased. Hitchens, I just really don't like watching. I really don't like watching him fight. I don't like that he is a champion, not because I don't value him. No. But because as a champion carrying the belt, most of the fights I see him in are not spectacular. And I don't say every fight's gotta be spectacular, but they're not enthralling to me. And he just frustrates me because I'm like, man, I know you can do a lot more, but you don't. And I don't like that. Again, my personal opinion. So because of that, that's the only fighter. I'm like, little, and I don't got an agenda against him. If he wins, he wins. I can't say nothing. But I will say, if there was somebody that I wouldn't mind not having a belt around him, it would be him. But again, that's just me. But all due respect to him. Personal opinion. Hitchens versus Kambosos, who actually, you see, these are the fights that we're getting. Hitchens versus Kambosos. Now, Kambosos is sure, warrior, he's not a great up here fighter. No way in the world. But nobody asked for that fight. I didn't even want that. Nobody, I showed enough I didn't want that fight to happen. Showed enough I didn't not want that type of championship matchup. But again, if it wasn't Hitchens, might be a little more intriguing for me. But because it's Hitchens, and also because it's Kambosos, who we know is not on that top tier level, but still keeps getting these championship opportunities. I don't know how. Unless I'm missing something, I don't know how. I'm just, it really turns me off. It turns me off. It really does turn me off. And again, I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but I'm not gonna mince words when it comes to how I see this whole everything playing out. Because I am a customer at the all. So I don't, it just doesn't do me good. For me personally. It does not do me good. But again, I'm not trying to be a hater. Please. Not trying to do that. Just humbly is how I feel. But regardless of which, we still got more to cover on this show. Like with, as I go through my, come on. I know I'm sick, but let's make sure I'm not doing this in a, oh, no, I almost forgot. Yeah, no, we got to cover, before we move on, yeah, we do got to cover Neverete. Hold on a second. Y'all asked about Neverete. We do got to cover Neverete. Oh, it's JBH, it's because he's a natural on interviews and he's born. You talking about Kambosos? Or you talking about Hitchens? It's because he's natural. He's a natural on interviews. I think you're talking about Kambosos. Yes, he's a natural on interviews. He can't sell a fight. Sure. But in the ring, I mean, even his last fight, I wasn't all that. Like Kambosos' last fight, I wasn't all that, ooh, when I watched it. It's just, again, for me, it's just two different, it's just two people that I'd rather not, I'll be real, I'd just rather not see them in the ring. That's the easiest thing I can say. I'd rather just not see them in the ring, personally. Because nothing about it just really sticks out to me as, oh yeah, this is a quality night that I want to stay up to watch and enjoy myself. Yes, we value everybody in the ring, but I'm like, some things you just don't do. And it's one of those things. But again, was that the last Kambosos victory? I believe it was. I'm gonna go back and check later because we do have to move the show along. But I believe that was the last Kambosos victory. But again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And please, excuse me. Again, still getting back into the mode of my normal stuff. Just getting over this cold. So excuse me if I'm still not as informed as I normally am. But don't worry, we're gonna get back into the groove of things like we normally do. Absolutely. But let me see. We got to, let's see. In ring, it was boring like Neverete, overhyped. In ring, okay. In ring, it was boring like Neverete, overhyped. Okay. Wait, you think Neverete's overhyped? Oh, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, we might as well get into that right now. They need to hype up Bochuck or Macombi or Duarte. More. Okay. No, they do need to hype that. Look, Bochuck, agree. Macombi, strictly off of the Caleb Plant fight, I'm excited for him. He's indeed is interesting. I don't think he deserves the level of hype that is like, okay, yeah, push him to the moon. Again, unknown going against Caleb Plant. Showed out. Sure, got knocked out, but showed out. I'm not going to say push him immensely. Yeah, well, actually, because of his power. Okay, yeah, I can see, yeah, give him some rub and give him, a legitimate opportunity to show, hey, I am a fan-friendly fighter. Okay, I can get picture like that. And Duarte fought against Ryan Garcia, lost to Ryan Garcia, but he's a power puncher. Yeah. Okay, yeah. In terms of in-ring and excitement, pop, actual, like, giving the fans what they want, having the ability to be more of an entertaining and definitive type of action-packed offensive fighter. The three of them. Yeah. Yeah, I can't deny it. At least over Cambosos, yeah, I can agree. Over Cambosos. Now, again, Cambosos has an Australian audience. That might be why also he gets pushed a lot, because they do show out for their fighters. Oh, let's not get it twisted at all. They do show out for their fighters in terms of all down there in the land down under. So it's like, I get why they're pushing Cambosos like they are. I just don't like it because I don't think he deserves it. I don't think he's worth it, in my estimation. But again, whole nother can of worms that we got to go through. But we had to talk about Duarte was gifted versus the Russian. Yes, he was. Hold on, wait a minute. Really, Neverete should have lost the last fight if it was a punch clearly. It was a punch clearly cut that guy, and they gave it to him. All three are correct. Okay, yeah. So now let's go. Let's talk about Oscar. Let's talk about Suarez versus Neverete. Might as well at this point, because that's what that's what y'all are really pushing for. So hey, let's go for it. Let's rock with it, shall we? Might as well rock with it. Hey, Neverete versus Suarez last weekend, I believe it was last weekend, was indeed another Neverete type of fight. I was gonna live stream it, but again, I thought I was up to it. I wasn't up to it vocally, so I was like, you know what? Let me get some rest. But nah, Neverete versus Suarez. Suarez. It was a phenomenal fight. And it was a fight that, again, this was one of, I'll give it to him, Suarez, brother, that cat's tough. The amateur background showed up in this fight. And he was indeed, ironically enough, he was the longer fighter in this fight, though it felt like Neverete was still landing those looping punches. But Suarez wasn't a joke, not that night. And that cat was actually able to take it to Neverete. And he did catch him with a punch that I believe cut him. Yeah. I believe it was a punch that cut him. I don't believe it was a clash of heads, because I watched the replay. The clash of heads happened with the chin scraping over the top side of the forehead, not right over the eyelid. Not right over the eyebrow, excuse me. That the cut did come about. And when they showed some angles after the fight, and I think you can find it on Twitter also, it was showing that the blood was there before Suarez scraped across his head as he was shifting his weight. And as Neverete was trying to swoop down, or never trying to duck down to get out the way. So it was a cut. It was definitely a cut that the corner could not stop. And because of that, hey, should have been off of that cut. If it was a stoppage because of the cut, then he should have got the victory. And it would have been his victory. And I'm not gonna lie, a little bit frustrated. Now again, not because I love Neverete. Love him as a fighter. Though I'm like, the way that he fights, I'm just like, somebody should be able to put you to sleep, because you do everything wrong. There is no contextual reason that you and your boxing ability should be so dominant and also safe in the manner that it is, yet every time I watch you, it is those exact same words that are coming out my mouth. The people can't tag them like I think they should be able to tag them, and if they do try to counter it, they get caught and they get knocked out almost every single time. Which, again, it doesn't make sense, but that's what we see, and it works. And so I can't fight it, because and it gets the job done, and it's in dramatic fashion. So I'm like, I can't. There's only so much I can hate. But regardless of which, I'm thinking this is a fight that now I will say, I forgot. This fight is going to get turned almost assuredly into a no contest by the California State Athletic Commission, because they're reviewing it. There's already a bunch of rumblings saying that they're going to be turning this over into a no contest, because they found that this punch was off, or that the cut was off of a punch, not off of a clash of heads, and the ref got it wrong. And now we could run it back for a rematch. I don't know. Would love to see it. But I think justice is going to be served in that fight. But regardless of which, it's like that was, shoot. There was one point in time when Neverete had just a mask of blood from that cut and from the action that was ensuing inside of the ring. And so, yeah, I know that cut was from a punch, not from a clash of heads. And so, but I believe it's going to get turned into a no contest sooner rather than later by the California State Athletic Commission, per reports that I'm reading. So, hey, again, look it up for yourself, absolutely. But as of right now, that's what we got going on. So, hey, hopefully we see justice get served and get served correctly. Let's see, Jack Reese, in charge of replay, has come out with this. Oh, he did. Oh, wait a minute. If you have that statement, hey, can you summarize it for me? I did not know he put one out. I'm so sorry. That came out without my knowledge. I incredibly apologize if that is in fact true, and I missed it, so I didn't get to read it. But again, look it up. We got a show to do, so I got to keep stuff going. But look it up. For you all to be able to find out for yourself. Don't they have replay now live? Yeah, they do. And they were looking at the replay live, like in the ring, because I believe you can look at there's a team that can look at replays in between rounds for controversial decisions that can, if the decision gets made by the time the other round starts, then boom, okay, something can get overturned. Like, I believe. Oh, let's see, basically said inconclusive. Inconclusive.
We got some problems here.
Inconclusive.
We got some problems here.
Inconclusive. Now, I don't know how that's the case. I don't know how it's inconclusive if we deliberately saw a replay after the fight got called off on ESPN Plus from the commentary team that zoomed in and strictly and deliberately showed that there was blood on the forehead of Neverete before the clash of heads happened. So if they can get that angle for the broadcast team and for us to be able to see, I don't know how that is not conclusive evidence, or how the other replay team doesn't have that same angle or ability to go and zoom in that close. Now, but again, my pay grade, outside of my jurisdiction, I can ask questions, but it is what it is for right now. And what I know is what I know. And hopefully we'll see the justice get done afterward. But regardless of which, we got to move on, because we still got more topics on the show to cover, like with a return of a legend and a card that now is really stacked for the world to be able to witness, hopefully, a very good, entertaining night of boxing, which will be Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, it's here. It's coming. It is around the corner, and the fight card has been officially made, and we got a legend returning, as well as a bunch of fights that are going to, but that honestly look really, really good on paper and just in general. It's genuinely, it's great. Because you have What was it? Let me pull up the card real quick so I can make sure I got it correct. It is. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. I got it. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now, yeah, Usyk versus Dubois. Usyk versus Dubois for the undisputed heavyweight championship is going to happen later on this year, and the card has been fully set as of right now. It is Usyk versus Dubois in the main event for the undisputed title. Isak Cruz versus I believe it's Angelo Ferrero, who had a war. I mean a war. The first time round on the undercard of Benavidez versus David Morrell. An absolute phenomenal fight. My gosh. Now, I'm glad they're running it back again because that was a controversial win for Isak Cruz and an absolute incredible fight all around. Then you got Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora in a rematch of the cut, the elbow from down under that happened from Sebastian Fundora on the top of the head of Tim Tszyu that again has snowballed into a knockout and a comeback tour from the likes of Tim Tszyu. And then also for the WBC welterweight title, Mario Barrios is defending his belt against a legend of legends, somebody who ain't fought in over 7 years, 6 years? Manny Pacquiao. That's right. Pacquiao is back. The Pac-Man is here. My goodness, at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao is making his way back to the ring. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I am. Do we have a problem? We might have some problems because I did not expect this in the slightest. What the world? What in the world? This genuinely. It's again, I love Manny Pacquiao. He is, you can argue he's a top 10 boxer of all time with what he's done in his career. I don't understand how this man bumped to the front of the line to be able to get a shot at the title at 46 years old. And he's been retired. And he lost to Ugas in the last fight. Again, valiant effort, threw 800 punches, but he lost to Ugas in his last fight out. How in the world is it that he's, one, getting this opportunity, and two, should he be fighting again? Should this man really be fighting again? Floyd, we all say, well, most people say, Floyd, while he's retired, could potentially still compete today. Though I'm like, even with somebody as great as Floyd Mayweather, at this stage in his life, I don't know if he even he should do it. But Pacquiao, again, the last time I saw that brother, again, when it was against Ugas in the ring, while the activity was there, the footwork was gone. And even in exhibitions, that I've seen him in over his, these past couple years, fighting against other out of weight class fighters, like genuinely, like they're fighters, though more so, maybe more Thai background and or kickboxers, but still, like he's fighting big boys and they go into war. I love it. But in the professional ranks, oh gosh, I don't know. And let's see, Albert Real, what's good with you? How you doing? Appreciate you tuning in to the show. Thanks so much for coming in on the hottest show in all the globe. The Watch Up with me, Jean-Luc West. We appreciate all of your time, energy, and effort. But yeah, let's see what people have to say. Hold on. Let's see, J-Wicks, I think Pac-Man gonna still give problems. He still got better footwork than Ramon Barrios, and he got cracked too. He does, but I haven't seen Pacquiao in a competitive fight in who knows how long. Again, exhibitions. Yes, he still trains. Sure. Yes, he still will fight. But I'm talking about like professional championship, I'm in the running type of training and legitimate, this counts for my record type of fight. I haven't seen him in full-blown competitive record-altering action in oh so long. Again, the last time I saw Manny Pacquiao fight, I was in my, what was that, 20, shoot, was that 20? 21? I think when he fought Ugas in college. I graduated and it's 2025 now. And I ain't seen that. And I'm like, I got some concerns. Listen, I'll be real. No way Pac can beat Boots. All on the same card. Yeah, LPG. It's all on the same card. All of them are fighting on the same card. From what in fact, let me see if I can pull it. It's on. I believe it's on the Ring Magazine's website. Not website. Twitter. That you can go find that all those fights are happening on the same card on the same day, at the same time. Not at the same time, but on the same day, under the same card, topped by Usyk versus Dubois. And so I believe he has having on the same card. Pac got dropped by Ugas last fight. Yeah, he did. But again, it's not about him getting cracked or dropped. It's about him having activity, being able to be the Pacquiao that we know we've seen in the past. I don't know if he can get there. Because he even said, like, my legs were gone. I don't have that anymore. He said that. And so unless rest has made this man be able to recover and turn back into the monster that we saw beat Keith Thurman and Adrian Broner, my goodness. Boots and Pac-Man, never going to happen. Did I say Boots? Did I say Boots? Hopefully I didn't say Boots. Again, he's fighting Mario Barrios. No way, Pac. Okay. I see what you're saying. Albert Real, you said Boots. My bad. Pac is not fighting Boots. Pac, at this stage in his career, does not want to fight Boots. Please, I hope not. Right now, I hope not. I hope we don't get Pacquiao versus Boots. Unless we see Pacquiao turn back the clock, I hope we don't get Pacquiao versus Boots at all. I hope not. This is already a stretch of the most implausible proportions. But Lord knows I hope that we don't get Pacquiao versus Boots down the line. Because that's that's horrifying. That is horrifying. Not because we don't respect Pacquiao, because where Boots is and what Pacquiao was last time we saw him, that's I don't think it's gonna be good. So yeah, Boots and Pacquiao ain't never gonna happen. I hope it don't. All boxers need to go back to the ring if they have money. All boxers need to go back to ring if they have money, or it's the dog in them, it's the blood in them that they have to fight. And like for Pacquiao, I think it's the dog of wanting to come back rather than just the financially he's not stable. Cause no, he's always had a good team around him. He's always been able to take care of his money. He's made politician money and boxing money, and he's been like, he's got stuff all around his country in the Philippines, helping the community, making money from that also in the process. So I don't think he's not strapped for cash. This brother has been genuinely talking about he wanted to come back for what, ever since he retired. Ever since he retired, he's been saying, "Hey, I'd like to come back." The exhibitions that he was having weren't like the Floyd Mayweather exhibitions that we were seeing overseas against undersized, no boxing talent kickboxers or Gotti 1, 2, and 3. Not Gotti, not Arturo Gotti versus Floyd. I'm talking about like Gotti, the son of the mob boss. When he fought him twice after that brawl. This ain't like that. Pacquiao, he's been fighting bigger, stronger, in terms of height and weight, active fighters in exhibition just because he just wants to get back in the ring. And he's been going to war with them. So like he's going for broke. Like he's right back in Madison Square Garden. And this buddy just fighting, to make some money for, maybe a charity or whatever. But he going at it. He's bloodied up. He's bloodying them up. He's knocking them down. He's rocking them like he's fighting for real. And it's supposed to be an exhibition. Pacquiao fights because he just loves to fight. Genuinely. Like he doesn't need to, but he just wants to. Because he just loves it's in him. And he's wanted to come back for a couple years, and now it's happening. I'm just like, wow. Now, I wish it wasn't against Mario Barrios, because I wish if he is going to come back, like with George Foreman, rest in peace, one of the greatest ever, who did it the right way. If he's going to come back after that long of a hiatus, he needs to at least fight one and or two bum fighters. I'm talking tomato cans. I'm talking scrubs to go and get his mojo back, get his rhythm back, get his timing back, get everything that makes Pacquiao back into the foray of his own operating cycle, so that when he does get a shot, just because of his name value, like he's getting right now for a title, okay, he's actually well equipped. Rather than going in raw, going in butt naked without any tune-up, and you are potentially gonna be worse for wear. And I'm like, man, shoot. It's crazy. Genuinely, it's crazy. I'm so serious. It's crazy. It's one of the craziest things I've ever witnessed. But my gosh, I can't lie. I am excited for it. Which, I can't lie. The fact that Pacquiao's coming back, I'm like, wait. How? What? When? And I'm not going to lie, I want to see it. I can't lie. I want to see it. I want to see it happen. I cannot lie, I want to see it happen. Just because, like, it's so, I never thought I'd see it again. So I'm like, well, if it's going to happen, then okay, fine. Sure. At least I know he won't rob the public. Because he's going to train as hard as he can. He wants to win. Like, he actually wants to. He'll actually want to take the belt from Barrios. And good gosh, what type of matchups will we get if he does win this fight? My goodness. That'd be insane. That would be insane. I think Pacquiao is bored and he just fight again. And he just wants to fight again. But I don't think it's going to turn out good for Pac. I bet Barrios wins. And I'm like, I don't blame you. I bet Barrios wins too. I bet Barrios wins too. If this was Pacquiao from a couple of years ago, if it was Pacquiao that, again, off the backs of Thurman, yeah, Pacquiao wins every which way. Every which way. If it's that Pacquiao. If it's the Pacquiao that beat Broner, oh, he definitely wins. Anything from Broner back is absolutely, he beats Barrios. Keith Thurman beats him. However, might be a little bit more of a struggle. Barrios might be able to actually pull it off because he was later in that career. But now, I don't know what type of Pacquiao we're gonna get. So I wouldn't be surprised if you pick Barrios to be able to win. If it happens, it will look like exhibition. Well, if the fight's gonna look like a Pacquiao exhibition, then it's gonna be exciting. Because a Pacquiao exhibition is exciting and people get bloodied up. If you go back and watch his exhibitions that he's had over the years, post-retired, they don't look like exhibitions. They don't. I watched multiple of them live. They didn't look like exhibitions. They did not look like exhibitions in the slightest. He was trying to drop them cats. He was trying to fight. They may have played around for a little bit, but it was 8 to 10 rounds of, after round 2, oh no, we in here now. I watched him. I know it. If it's an exhibition fight for Pacquiao, it's a real fight. He's like Tyson. He only knows one way. He can't go and be just a half-hearted type of stuff. He's gonna try to do what he can, anything he can to win, and he's gonna put it on him. And because this is for the actual, legitimate WBC title, this ain't gonna be no exhibition fight. Oh no, oh no, oh no. This ain't gonna look like an exhibition, especially out the fact there's an actual title on the line. This ain't hearsay. This ain't just me making up stuff. Genuinely, Pacquiao's fighting for the WBC welterweight title. Brother, he wins this, he can face off against Rolly Romero. If Pacquiao wins this, he can face off against the likes of he can actually face off against Boots. Like, the actual, definitively. Because remember, Boots is going at the Undisputed. Let's not forget that. Boots is saying he wants to go at Undisputed at 150, at 147, at 154, at 160, and at 168. Boots has to go through Barrios because Barrios is an active super champion. If Barrios loses his title to Pacquiao, then it would be that Boots would have to go through Pacquiao to gain his shot at Undisputed. Genuine. So it's like, I know I just blew off that I don't want to see Boots versus Pac-Man, but doggone it, it can happen if we see him actually win this fight. It can actually take place. It's an actual possibility. I can't believe it. I truly can't believe it. But it ain't gonna be no exhibition. And Broner, it's the money he begs to come back. And yeah, for Broner, it's the payday. But I think, again, I've seen that brother dancing and grooving on Twitter. Out of shape, beard bigger than ever. Even this girl saying that, yeah, no, you ain't coming back. So no, he's done. He's done. After Blair Cobb, Adrian Broner done. I'm almost assured, unless it's for like a enhancement talent for another fighter. A not guardrail, what's it called? Journeyman? A gatekeeper, that's the word, gatekeeper. This is a gatekeeper for another young fighter to come through. Okay, let me see what you got. Fighting against a former champion. He's done. He ain't never coming back to that level of heights in his career. Excuse me again for blanking. I'm trying to get back in the groove of using all of my vernacular when it comes to looking at this. when it comes to doing this and getting back in the groove of talking with you all. But let me see. Wait a minute. How can Pac win a belt in the exhibition? If it's an exhibition, Barrios loses, Pac-Man wouldn't get no belt. Oh, okay. Just looks like an exhibition. Yeah, no, Albert, I'm trying to get it through you. This fight is not an exhibition. This is an actual fight. I think you're missing something. This is not an exhibition. This is an actual world title fight. This is not just some ho-hum. Oh, the defending champ is fighting an exhibition against another fighter. This isn't Francis Ngannou fighting against the current world heavyweight and lineal champion in Tyson Fury. This is not that. This is a wholehearted, full. In fact, I'll pull it up for you just to help you out. Because I get it. It's hard to believe. I understand. It can be something that's a little bit daunting, a little bit shocking, a little bit, this doesn't make any sense. Genuinely, I get it. I truly do. Let me pull that up, but I'll pull it up for you right now so you can see I'm not lying when I go through and show you exactly what is going on. Let me pull it up for you right now. Hold on, give me a second, give me a minute. I'm getting there. It's coming. It's on the way. I gotta scroll. There it is. Here we go. So yeah, here. Give me a second. Let me. There we go. Let me pull it up for you all so you can see exactly what we are discussing. And again, for those of you who are just tuning in, we are currently talking about the unlikely but shocking development that Manny Pacquiao is coming back to the ring, and we're trying to prove that yes, Pacquiao is indeed returning to the world of boxing. So let me show you all right now on the old picture-in-picture As you can see, Ring Magazine. This is their official Twitter. July 19th, shaping up to be an incredible day of boxing. Usyk versus Dubois. 2 for the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. 2 for the Super Welterweight title, or for the WBC Super Welterweight title, 154 pounds. Ben Rodriguez versus Kafu, which again, we broke on this show. It's happening. Bam is coming back in July to fight for the unified WBC, WBO, and Ring Lineal Magazine title. That's going to be all on the same card, with Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. This is the co-main. If this is how the graphics going to be, this is the co-main event. I would move Sebastian Fundora down, and I would move Ben Rodriguez up. But this is the card. Like, this is the whole order. This is the truth. This is the outright truth. This is what we're getting. And so I get it. It's hard to believe, because I couldn't believe it. I was sick when this broke. And I was like I had a cold when this broke. And so I was taken aback, really taken aback. But hey, it's happening. And for better or for worse, it's real. And let's pump the brakes real quick. We need to have a serious conversation. We're probably going to continue this on Thursday, because again, we don't want to run over. But we also have to keep in mind, if Manny Pacquiao does beat Barrios at 46 years old, he would definitively be the oldest champion right now. And I think he breaks George Foreman's record. And I think he would he break Bernard Hopkins' record too? Let me make sure. How old was Hopkins when he got his title? Bernard Hopkins got his title at 46 years. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Hopkins got his title at 46 years old. And then, good gosh, he broke it twice. He broke it by getting the title at 48 and at 49. At 49 at light heavyweight? Good, great day. Shoot. So, excuse me. This will make Pacquiao either the third or second oldest champion in history, only beaten by Bernard Hopkins twice at 48 and 49 years old, tying Bernard Hopkins when he did it beforehand, when he became the oldest champion, beating George Foreman at 46 years old. So this would be borderline stupid. This would be borderline stupid. Foreman, I believe, was 45 when he became champion. George, yeah. Let me make sure. I believe it was 45. He had to have been. Yep, I thought so. 45 years old. Yep, he won it at 45 years old. And so this would break his record. Right now, Foreman is the second oldest to Bernard Hopkins. This would break Foreman's record and tie Hopkins for the second oldest champion of all time, only broken by Bernard Hopkins again at 48 and 49 years old. And so this would be ridiculous. This would be preposterous. This would be stupid in the most insane type of sense. I don't say stupid in a bad way. I say stupid in like, how good is this? This would further his case for being a top 10 fighter of all time. For many people, he's already a top 10 fighter. But like, if he became a champion at 46 years old, after already being an 8 division champion, a multi-time fighter of the year, fighter of the decade, I think twice. Like, I'm telling you, this man's a bad man. I don't care how you feel about it. The very fact that this is happening. And if he does, in fact, even if he loses, if he puts on a good performance, I'm telling you, brother, Pacquiao is a bad man. He's a bad man, and the Philippines are going to be out in droves. So many, I mean so many people are about to come out the woodwork and support Pacquiao to get a title. Turn back the clock one more time. I'm telling you, Pacquiao at one point in time, you could consider him the face of boxing. He was synonymous with the sport. He was the sport at one point in time, when he was at his highest. His fandom was ridiculous. His following was ludicrous. Everywhere he went, it didn't matter. This man made bank and was selling out every single venue he went to. Couldn't walk the street. It was insane. It was ridiculous. And he was lovable and likable. And so, like, people, they're going to remember that. And people still support him. And my gosh, if he comes back, that's going to be insane. That would be insane. That would genuinely be insane if that did happen. But again, we still got more topics on this show because, again, we don't want to run over time. We still want to make sure everybody is able to have their weekend and still be productive. Still be productive. And they're like, no, this show, we can go all day. We can. But at the same time, first show back. Don't want to try to overdo it. Let's ease into the flow. And then next show, we're going to be probably back to the fullest of strengths that we normally are on this show like we always like to do. But again, I think now we can go into the best part of the show, the greatest point in time in this show. We can talk about anything and everything in the world of sports with you all, the viewing and listening public. It's time for the championship rounds. Yes, sir. Let's get on and popping right now. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Let's get it started. It's time for the championship rounds. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you want to discuss in the world of sports, whether it's boxing, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, anything in between, we can talk about it right here on the show. Movies, video games, all that stuff. We want to hear from you. You got opinions. You got debates. You got questions and comments. I want to hear from you. Are you shocked? Do you think Pacquiao can actually win it? Would this make Pacquiao move up if he does win a title in the ramifications of the all-time standings? Does this make you want to see Floyd come back into the ring and be a championship-level fighter going up against the likes of Jerron Boots Ennis at 147? Or Mario Barrios? Or Brian Norman Jr.? Or shoot, go down to 130. Floyd versus Tank. Because if Pacquiao's coming back now, then shoot, anything is possible. We know Floyd's been productive. And from the standpoint of he's been active. He's been doing exhibitions just as much, if not arguably more, than the likes of Manny Pacquiao. There's a connection there. Stuff can happen. Things can transpire that would be like, hey, it makes sense. Would you want to see him back? How do you feel about the whole landscape with the rankings right now? Because right now, Pacquiao ain't fought in who knows how long, but he's already fifth in the rankings. We got Conor Ben, who just had a war against the likes of Eubanks Jr., who's also back down at 147. Good gosh, we can see Pacquiao versus Conor Ben, which, again, is another, on paper, incredibly exciting fight from the standpoint of what we knew Pacquiao as and what we know Conor Ben is right now. But there's so much. There's so much that this can branch off and deviate into. We still got, if you want, you can still talk about Devin Haney. You can have more questions about him, have more comments and concerns about him and his style, the running issues in boxing, how to fix them, or can they not be fixed? Is it a boxer's own mentality that's going to fix or keep the same this level of non-aggression, this level of playing it safe? Do you think that it's the money that's making these fighters not want to be genuinely as active as we know that they can be? Not just from getting in the ring, but once in the ring, again, like with Devin Haney, to not try to make a fight out of it and just do the bare minimum. Oh, shoot, I didn't even realize. I'm sorry, I got those rankings wrong. Conor Ben is at, oh, my bad, not welterweight. I misread. Conor Ben is at super welterweight. Conor Ben's at 154. My apologies. Conor Ben is not at 147. Conor Ben is not in the same weight class as Joanne Boots Ennis, as Manny Pacquiao, as Mario Barrios. He's at super welterweight, 154. He's with Tim Tszyu. He's with Charla. He's with Bakram Murtazali. He's with those cats. So my apologies. Misspoke, or rather misread when I was talking about Conor Ben and this whole situation with him moving back down from middleweight. But again, we want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Want to hear your conversation. Yo, Al Booger, what's good with you? How you doing? Appreciate you tuning into the show. Glad that you're here. Glad that you're back. Glad that you tuned into the hottest show in all of the globe to watch about with me, guys. Jean-Luc Watch. We're in the championship rounds right now. If you got anything you want to say, I would love to hear from you, to read off the comments and see exactly what you got to offer to the world stage. How many champs at 147? I know. How many champs at 147? I know there's Boots, there's Barrios, and Norman Jr. Is there. Any other champions at 140? Well, you're in luck. You come to the right place. Or we'll tell you exactly who's who, who's got what, and who's where in all the rankings of the boxing world. So at welterweight at 147, you got the current best in that division, Joanne Boots Ennis, as unified champion. Took the belt from Stanionis. Now, he is a champion. Barrios is a champion. And Brian Norman Jr. is a champion. So I believe, if I have my stuff correctly. In fact, let me do a quick check to make sure that Brian Norman is in fact a champion. Let me just make sure. Just trying to validate. We don't do anything haphazardly on here. We gonna check the official sources to make sure. Okay, yeah. So the current champions at welterweight: Brian Norman Jr., Joanne Boots Ennis, and Mario Barrios. Ennis has the IBF and WBA title. Barrios has the WBC title, and Norman has the WBO title. Joanne Ennis, or Boots, he won the belt from Stanionis, because he had the IBF, won the WBA from Stanionis, is going to fight, most likely, Brian Norman Jr., because Brian Norman Jr. has also called out Boots Ennis. So we could see that fight happen sooner rather than later. Or he could fight Barrios. Potentially, he could fight Pacquiao if Barrios loses to Pacquiao, because then Barrios would be the WBC champion. At this point in time right now, those are the champions at 147. So those are the biggest names. But still, you got other people. You still got people like Abel Ramos, who took Barrios to a very competitive war. Both of them scoring knockdowns, both of them trying to adapt to each other on the undercard of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. And let's see, you got Giovanni Stalina, ranked at 6th right now, and currently I'm reading off of the Transatlantic Boxing Association. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, not Boxing Association. What is it? What's the name of it? Transnational Boxing Ranking. That's what it is. It's a website. Transnational Boxing Rankings, where they got experts from all over the world who put together pound for pound list and keep track of the current champions and the lineal champions of every single division. And they update it pretty consistently. So it's a great source of a reference, similar to basketball reference, to go and make sure you keep track of what's what in the boxing world. And it's got archives. So you can look at what the rankings were for boxers of bygone eras in the pound for pound states, or just for outright ranks in past years. And so it's a pretty cool resource to use, and that's what I'm using right now. And so let me see what you had to say. Darren, what's going on with you? How you doing? Appreciate you tuning into the show. Glad that you're here. Glad that you're back. I appreciate you coming in for the show. Because it's great. It's phenomenal. Olympic marathon. Now, I don't know what that means. Now, you're referring to the trek to a championship. It can be an Olympic marathon. If you're referring to Boots and his ability or his want to go on from 147 to 168 and be a champion in every weight class, that in itself is also another marathon. If you want to talk about whether or not Pacquiao coming back is really a viable option, that trek just for this one fight might just be the biggest marathon of them all. Because we don't know what Pacquiao is going to be like. So yeah, hey, love to hear your feedback on it all. Listen, what's the website again? The website is Transnational Boxing Rankings, or tbrb.com or .org, excuse me. tbrb.org. Teddy Atlas has referenced this website as well on multiple occasions when he which is what he uses when he goes and looks through pound for pound rankings, top 10s in divisions, and to get a quality and reliable, authoritative synopsis backed by facts and legitimate expertise from not just one person, but multiple journalists, reporters, and experts all coming in on one website to go and make these lists. So it's not just one person and their only opinion. It's a conglomerate. It's a group census where everybody's got different input, and based on the whatever the final result of all of the discourse that they have together, they put together these lists. And so that's what this is. And so it's a great source. It's been reliable for me. It's been reliable for Teddy Atlas. And I think if you really want to have a quality assessment of what the real is in boxing, this is a website to do it. The Transnational Boxing Ranking, I think it's Transnational Boxing Ranking Board, but the website is tbrb.org. In fact, I can show it to you right now. Let me show it to you on the thing so you can get a better glance at it. See? Hey, take a look. Oh yeah. And if I think it's, am I scrolled at the top? Nope, I ain't scrolled at the top. If I can scroll up or bring the thing, can I bring it down? Can I bring, did I bring it down? Nope, I ain't bring it down. But again, it is I'll say it again because for some reason I can't get the URL to show up on it. But it is tbrb.org or Transnational Boxing Rankings. Simply search that word or search that phrase and you'll pull up this website. And it's really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. But I'll let you explore it on your own time. I don't want to take out the whimsy and wonder of what this website can be. Absolutely. But again, as we keep on going through, again, it's the championship rounds. Let's not forget. Oh, let me see. El Preachy, Backlash, thumbs up or down. So, Backlash, WWE. Hey, we cover multiple things on this show. We also cover wrestling. WWE. It was okay. It was okay. Cena versus Orton. That was way better. Way better than Cody versus Cena at WrestleMania. Way better. It was the last time we got Orton versus John Cena. We got to see Orton go on an RKO party, absolutely lose his mind. Didn't get to hit the punt kick, which I did not like. But the match as a whole was great. Match as a whole was really good. Callbacks to some spots over the years, reversing the AA attitude adjustment into an RKO. From the 5 moves of doom, again into an RKO. John Cena again hitting the ref with the belt twice. And then everything was going good up until we got R-Truth running in. Of all people, R-Truth running in to stop Orton from being able to actually get the win. Insane. But on the whole, event wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Jacob Fatu retains. And I forget, we get a brother from I think it was Lucha Underground. Can't remember his name, but nah. That I'm excited for him. Is it Jeff Cobb? That's his name. No, I've seen what he can do. That cat, if they book him right, we got ourselves a ball of a monster. Cause he's like Otis. He's just a literal circle of just muscle. But underratedly athletic, will literally throw people around. Throw people up, catch them, and then swing them again. It's ridiculous. He's going to be a threat. And him with the bloodline, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be really interesting. So, but across the board, hey, wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. We give it soft claps. Not great claps, but soft claps. And yeah, Jeff Cobb in New Japan, he was a beast. See, you know ball. You know ball. Now, I may not know everybody across the other regimes, but I do know him. I know that brother. I know that brother, especially with the matches that he's had when he was not just in New Japan, but in Lucha Underground, when he was, I forget the moniker, but when he had that mask on him, had those great words of Rey Mysterio and others, it was, absolutely beautiful, beautiful, and so vicious. It was so good. And so, and we're to the, I forgot about that. I forgot, El Pinche, you right. I forgot. Rest in peace to one of the greatest extreme artists that we've had in the world of wrestling history. The homicidal, suicidal, genocidal Sabu has sadly left us at 60 years old. It's a bittersweet moment. We clapped to his legend and the match that he had. So good. Rock tearing down the house at ECW, having wars with the likes of Terry Funk, RVD, Rey Mysterio, Tommy Dreamer, the Sandman, literally one of the original ECW OGs. He's one of the people that helped make that company what it was, that entity. It was ridiculous. His offense was incredible, and it was so unique. And it fit him so perfectly because he was an environmental extremist. I'm so serious. Watching that hijab fly through the air, this man had a chair under his butt, jumping from another chair to the top rope, off of the rope onto a railing, with the chair in hand. It's ridiculous. I mean, one time this brother cut his bicep off of barbed wire. I think when he was fighting Terry Funk. From the top of the shoulder all the way down to the elbow, just wait, let me check. Well, I'll do it from this angle. From like, it was from like, move this out the way. It was from from here to here, completely ripped open. And the brother he took his own wrist tape and just wrapped it back up over his bicep and finished the match. And it was like 20 minutes. And he was bleeding all throughout. He was insane. He was insane. But he just fought like a year, I think it was less than a year ago. He just fought. And he was on AEW. He was on WWE, ECW, New Japan. He's been across the globe and has genuinely been one of the most innovative aerial artists that we've seen, not just for the extreme side of wrestling, not just for the hardcore wrestling, but for just aerial artistry as a whole. He innovated a lot of stuff. Dang it, man! I'm sad that he's gone. And he was funny. Like outside of the ring, he was funny. He was cool. He was chill. And he gave a lot of people a lot of opportunities. He's part of the reason Taz got successful. He's part of the reason RVD was able to elevate himself. He helped make Rey Mysterio, who was already a major star. He was a big part of why Rey kept on rising up, because of that match that they had at ECW. It's a shame that he never got into the Hall of Fame while he was alive. He's going to get into it now that he's dead. I'm almost assured. But he should have been in the Hall of Fame years ago. A good chunk of that hardcore regime should already be in the Hall of Fame now. And this is why we always push for legends to get their flowers while they're alive. Because when they're gone, now we can show them the love, but we can't show them the love because they aren't with us. And it hurts. It hurts. But it's like cycle of life is going to happen. But man, this one, it stings a little. And it was only 60. I didn't even think he was, I thought he was in the mid-50s. I know he was 60, but even then, that's still young. And this is, it really does hurt. It does hurt. Because I remember watching him so many times. And he's a GOAT. He is a GOAT. He's a genuine GOAT. He is a genuine GOAT and a pioneer that we will forever respect. And we'll always miss, absolutely. Always miss forever. And so it's a rest in peace to, again, one of the greatest of all time, the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal Sabu, who was absolutely fearless in every sense of the word. In every sense of the word. Absolutely. So much respect to him. Rest in peace to you. You will be missed. And we'll never forget about you, Sabu. And so, incomparable. Love you forever. But again, we still got some time. Is there anything anybody else wants to talk about? You want to talk about wrestling, boxing, NBA? Oh, I almost forgot. We do got to talk about the NBA. We got to talk about what just happened last night with the Knicks and with Cleveland. Oh, no, we got two major things that just happened in the world of basketball because the Knicks just got destroyed. No, not the Knicks, excuse me. Not the Knicks. Cleveland just got destroyed by Indianapolis. At one point in time, it was a 40-point blowout. They had 90 points by the third quarter. Might have even been by the second. While Cleveland only had like 40. It was a blowout. And hey, I warned you. I did give you all. Did I not give you all a warning? Did I not give you all a warning a couple of weeks ago when talking about, hey, Indiana is somebody that should be afraid or somebody that people should be afraid of? Indiana ain't just a pushover. We may not look at them highly, but brother, they will go and turn a 20-point lead on you when you don't know what happened. And we just saw that happen this weekend. This team blew Cleveland out the water, and they're 1 win away from taking this series. They're 1 win away from taking this series. 1 win away from completely decimating one of the best teams that we've seen in the regular season. That look to be the only team that can beat Boston. We're going to get into Boston, as you can see by the title. But real quick, I got to touch on Cleveland. And I got to touch on Indiana. Indiana is the truth. This team is the truth. Halliburton is the truth. And he ain't even playing as great as we normally see him. He's been, again, lackluster from the standpoint of, on average, he's been lackluster. I will say, over this past year, hasn't proved to be the best Halliburton that we've normally seen from all-star to, again, playing a little bit under. But now he's showing, hey, he shut everybody up. All of that detractionary talk can stop right now. This person is the engine that's helping drive this team to be everything of an offensive monster that this team is. They're showing why they're the best offense in the NBA from a ratings perspective. It ain't just a rating, brother. It's a lifestyle. This team will run you ragged, just outwork you. And it ain't even a Halliburton. And again, Albert, you absolutely right. You absolutely right. Albert Real, you right. That you saying the real. Halliburton, he's a bad brother. Halliburton's a bad brother. But he isn't even the most, for this series, he hasn't even been the most damaging part of the offense for this Indiana squad. It's been the collective success of everybody. Everybody. From Pacquiao Siakam to Miles Turner to Halliburton to what's his name? Meriton, black brother with name starts with an M. For some reason, I don't know why I'm blanking on him. But no, he's good. All of them, the whole squad, TJ McConnell, all of them are capitulating and adding to the offensive avalanche. And it's just from every which way they can score on you. They can get you. They can score from three. They can drive to the hole. They can throw lobs. They can run. Especially running. Every single chance they get, it's a fast break opportunity. They will run you ragged. They will score before you realize it. And next thing you know, they're up 20. And it's still the first quarter. They've gone on a 15-0 run. And you all, whatever team that you're facing off against, you all just had yourself a 10-0 run. And they flip it on his hand. They never get back control. This team in Indiana, led by Halliburton, is such a monstrous threat because they are a collective beast. A collective beast. It ain't just a one-man running show. It's a collective beast that this team has turned into that makes everybody such a viable threat. Off the bench, Obi Toppin or TJ McConnell. Shoot, they can switch whatever they want off the bench or in the starting rotation, and it works out just the same. Everybody is conducive. Everybody is conductive. There's electricity running through that team because they just all click. And once they start clicking, you don't know what to do. And for anybody that said, myself included, that Cleveland was going to be able to run ragged through this team, he has shut all of us up. He has made us all look like fools. Or that team. I'm talking about them. This team might as well be Legion. Multiple, one team, multiple bodies, but doggone it, they all work the same way. The whole is just, they're conducive. It's a collective menace. And it's so horrifying. What about Brunson? That guy can move even more than it can move. That guy is continually showing that he is a top 3 point guard in this league today. He is consistently showing it at the point guard position. This man is a top 3 to top 5 point guard every day he gets out on the floor. And I'm about to touch on them with what happened with Boston. Let me just say one more thing about Cleveland before I transition, because I'm going to talk about Boston, the Knicks, Brunson, and all of them. Cleveland was falling into the exact thing I was scared of. Regular season success, driven by continuity and chemistry. Led by Donovan Mitchell, who is, again, great. Phenomenal. Has been playing stupidly throughout this whole playoff cycle. Again, showing he's one of the best guards in the game. But this team, yes, they've had injuries. Absolutely. Mobley ain't been healthy for a portion of the series, portions of the playoffs. Others ain't been healthy for portions of the playoffs. I get it. But still, it's a rude awakening that I think if they do lose this against Indiana, I think they're going to have to look to get Donovan Mitchell, a superstar, to tag along with. I think they're going to have to. They got the assets they can move and trade. They got the pieces they can make a trade and go and get somebody. They can't. They got the winning ability to be able to make people want to come there. But I think if they don't get past Indiana, they have to look for somebody as a dominant superstar to pair with Donovan Mitchell. Not an all-star, a superstar to pair with Donovan Mitchell to get them over the hump. Because this team, this may be the threshold they can get you. Because this was the best this team has looked since their inception of getting together, with Mitchell leading the squad, with Garland, with Mobley, with Garrett, with Max Strus, and all. But if they don't get it done this year, at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals, which might not happen. I think they're going to have to look to sign a superstar. If they don't, I think this might be their ceiling. Might be. Again, don't want to put too many eggs in the basket, but it might be their ceiling. And it could be a scary prospect that they want to improve, not just be stagnated. But again, now we got to move on. Now we talk about Tatum, Brunson, Knicks, and Celtics. Brunson is a dog. The Knicks are actually on their way to get to a conference finals. Can you believe it? My gosh. My goodness. Who would have thought we'd see today? Who would have thought we'd see today? And then on top of that, we got Brunson again performing oh so well. Malik Bridges scoring 23 points last night, looking like that brother couldn't miss in the third and fourth quarter. Couldn't miss, got it hot, and all of a sudden, that flatline shot just kept on going to the rim. And I say flatline because it's a flat arc. Ain't nothing much there on the arc of Bridges and a shot. But brother, once it's wet, it's wet. to steal from Cash Nasty. It's wet like water. But that thing is butter. And he was one of the biggest reasons why they were able to win in this game. And one of the best playoff games of the year. Also, J Race, what's up with you? What's good with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Again, right now, we are in the championship rounds, and we can talk about anything and everything in the world of sports. So whatever you want to discuss, we can discuss it. We are. Right now, we're going off of the where's that? Yeah. Right now, we're going off of the reactions in the NBA right now. With the likes of Tatum, with the likes of Boston, and the likelihood of them potentially ending the next game. Might be their last game, ending in Boston. And I guarantee you, we're going to see Knicks fans come out in droves and try to overtake that city. Oh, it's going to be evil. It's going to be diabolical. It's going to be ridiculous. Both Boston and New York are going to both be torn up the kingdom come. I guarantee you. And I hate to say it because this was the best game of the series. One of the best games of the entire playoff run. And it ended off of an Achilles pop. And I hate it. I really do. Boston was going to get this win. And it was going to be, man, they beat him. And now we have to go even bigger than just the Knicks winning and getting a win, not just in New York, but winning against Boston and putting them on the ropes to potentially get this team out of here. Get this team out of here. And do what many people thought was going to be a fluke and not being able to capitalize off of taking the 2 games that they had in Boston. Now we got to go with the real reality that this Celtics squad, their window of opportunity for getting a title is done. Completely done. Let's see. After last night, Tatum might be cut in injury. And we got to talk about the whole identity of this Boston squad now. Because let's see. I'm rooting for the Knicks now. Yep, I am too. I am. Right now, I want the Knicks to get to the finals. Just because, J. Will, you're absolutely right. My Sixers are out and NC deserves the title. Y'all did get, what? The 3rd pick in the draft? When I thought y'all's pick was going to be taken by OKC with Jared McCain, that buddy was looking mighty scared on that podium. But hey, y'all pulled it out. You squeaked it away. So you still could get some piece to rebuild, but you got to trust the process, sadly, because y'all are still looking to make that process a reality. My Sixers are out. I see the third title. I think it's been since 70. Yeah, it has. Was it 75, 78 that they won a title? It's been over 50 years that they won a title. It's been, over 30 since they got into a conference finals? This has been the closest that they've gotten to a conference finals win in maybe 20 years. And yet Phil Jackson was on the team, like playing for the team the last time they got that close to a title. So you right, J. Will, you absolutely right. It's an historic thing, and we're excited for it. And again, we'll talk about their ramifications and what potentially we could see New York exist. We could see New York no longer exist as we know it now, because that city is going to get imploded, blown up. Shoot, they might just get, the whole city may just jump up and down to the point that they start drifting away into the Atlantic Ocean, because they literally break off of the country, because they essentially become their own entity. Because they're gonna burn up if they beat Boston. At least one borough is going asunder. One borough is getting taken out. One of the boroughs of New York is getting taken out. I guarantee you. At least one of them. Because they beat Boston to get to the Western Conference Finals, and now they get ready to face off against Indiana. A rivalry into another rivalry. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. At least one of the boroughs is completely going to be wiped off the face of the planet. The streets will never be the same. I guarantee it's going to look like Gotham, at least for a couple nights. If they win the title, you might as well call Batman. You might as well call Batman. Because if they win the championship, if they beat Indiana and they win the chip this year, my gosh, hey, forget the National Guard. There's going to be nothing you can do. You're going to need the Justice League to come down to Gotham and stop what's exactly about to happen. They're going to tear that city down and rebuild it in their own image. We will see people, we'll see Kingpin, we will see we'll see Kingpin, we'll see the Joker, we'll see Penguin, Two-Face, the Scarecrow. It'll just be a bunch of goons. It'll literally be just a bunch of goons. Just running through all of New York and just running them up. They won't even be able to celebrate because it would just be chaos. It would just be chaos. Chaos to such a insane degree that I promise you, if you want to see New York at its best and worst, go to New York if they get to the finals. Go to New York if they beat Boston. Book a ticket, book a flight, and just stay the night, and just watch as the chaos unfolds. My goodness, it'll be some of the most helpful people as well as some of the most violent people, all wrapped up in the same body that you will meet if the Knicks win. It'll be ridiculous. It'll be insane. The love and chaos will be synonymous with each other. I promise you. Crime will both be up and down if we see the Knicks win this whole thing. I guarantee you, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. A lot of the time, James Dolan and Jerry Jones, two owners, are so frustrating. Yeah, they are. But my goodness, they are. At least with James Dolan, it's working. At least this year, it's working. He's built something. He might have actually gotten out the way and let them actually build and pay people. Now, we'll see what happens. Do you think that the draft is rigged? Now I'm not for the rigged aspect of sports. I've never thought that the draft was rigged. However, now, mounting evidence has made me ask some questions about how in the world did Dallas, of all people, who gave away in one of the most ridiculous trades of the decade, not just of the year, of the decade, of the history of sports, and then you get rewarded when you had a 1% chance to get this pick. You were bottom 5 in the opportunity to get and recover for a number one pick, and you get it this year of all years. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Boggles my mind and racks my brain. And so I gotta ask some questions. I gotta start asking questions and start looking into some stuff now, because it shouldn't be. This lottery format is supposed to be that it doesn't reward tanking. I get it. You lose and you shouldn't be seen as, yeah, you get the opportunity to have a potential franchise player because you willingly try to lose games. We don't want tanking. Absolutely. However, when an owner does something stupid that also is conducive to tanking, and yet still they get rewarded, now it's like, well, it's just happenstance. Again, Hornets have been middle of the road. They haven't been trying to tank, but they have not been able to push through. They didn't get an opportunity. There's teams that haven't sniffed the lottery, sniffed a top 5 pick in who knows how long, and yet still they don't get anything. But this man who makes a blunder of his own accord, genuinely one of the most stupid trades as an owner that you can make, yet he's rewarded with this. When the Bulls didn't get anything, the Jazz didn't get anything. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And we got to ask some questions. We do got to ask some questions. Let's see. I can't wait for Norman fighting in Japan. I just don't know who he's fighting, but I think his opponent needs to worry. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can look it up. Let me see if I can look it up. Hold on. Can we find out who he's fighting? That's who it is. Jin Sasaki. That's who his name is. Jin Sasaki is who he is. I think that's what's being done. I think that's either confirmed or it's being negotiated. That's who he's currently looking to fight now. Over in Japan. Jin Sasaki is a brother who ain't a bad brother. Let's not get it twisted. He's not bad in the ranks of boxing. He does need to worry. Absolutely. But he's not somebody who ain't just a pushover either. I've seen that brother fight. No, he can crack. He ain't just some pushover. He ain't just some pushover. In fact, let me see if I can pull up his record right now to give you some context. Yep. I remember this. Yep. He fought January against Seo Sasaki, ironically enough. Scored a unanimous decision in a very, very competitive fight. And this is a brother who is 19-1, 12 KOs, 1 loss and 1 draw. Been knocked out once, yes, but he is somebody. He can crack. Again, 19 wins, 17 of them coming by KO. Yes, he's been knocked out himself, but he is currently, per BoxRec, third in the world. Third in the world at welterweight. And he got the power to boot. And hey, some of these names ain't bad either. He lost to Andy, that's who it was. He lost to Andy Hiroka. Excuse me, trying to make sure I had that right. But then after that loss, but he went on a tear. He went on a tear, and genuinely, like, that is a big, stocky brother who, if he catches you, Brian Noya might be in trouble. Now, can Noya beat him? Hey, I think so. But still, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted in the slightest. This man is not somebody to be fooled with. This man is not somebody to just be taken lightly. This man is somebody to be, hey, that's going to be a good fight. Somebody's probably going to sleep. Jin Sasaki versus Brian Noya Jr., somebody's probably going to sleep. I'm almost assured. Almost assured somebody's going to sleep with that fight. I can almost promise you that. But that's the fight that's going to take place over in Japan. Do you think the WBO should strip Tio? The WBO president said that he won't because he believes Tio is saying liquor. Well, now see here. That's just stupid. That's just ridiculous. There is no way in the world, no way that you hear Tio saying liquor. None. That's just feigning ignorance. That's just feigning ignorance. There's no way.
Hey, look at this. The problems
There's
here.
no way that you see this man he's saying liquor. No. But you can slow it down if you want to. I did. Multiple times. Nah. He said hard ER. Now, hey, look. This is great. Can we cover this? Oh, also, actually, before I'm gonna touch back to this. I gotta keep true to my word. I did say I need to talk about Tatum and the Celtics. Let me say this really quickly, and I'm gonna get back to Tio because I gotta make sure I keep my continuity. We're gonna talk about Tio and the language. Oh yes, we will. Oh, I'm probably gonna talk about it more tomorrow. Let me quickly say this about the Boston Celtics though, because I didn't get a chance to finish my point that I was gonna say with them. My apologies. Don't want to jump around. But I do got to say this. I do need to say this. Tatum rupturing his Achilles, almost assuredly. He's not going to get cut from Boston. No. He's their franchise player. He's who they're building their whole future for the next potential decade around. He's not getting cut. However, because of the new CBA that the NBA is under, second apron and all, And again, don't want to go into detail. You can look up exactly what that means, but essentially that means that it's harder to keep championship squads together. What that means is that this Boston team, if they don't win a title this year, which most likely they won't, this is the last chance that they will have of being able to repeat. And most likely they will be out of championship contention after this season. Not just because Tatum is hurt and most likely out for all of next season as well, but because Jaylen Brown is not safe. June Holiday is not safe. Porzingis is not safe. Peyton Pritchard is not safe. Derek White is not safe. They have to let go of people because they cannot pay all of these people because of the new CBA, or essentially the amount of money their teams are able to spend. They can't pay everybody now. And so they have to let the majority of their championship identity go. Either just nix the contract, trade them, or let them walk in free agency because they can't match the offer because they can't afford the offer. So when I say that this window of opportunity for the Boston Celtics is done for a championship after this year, if they don't win it, I mean it's genuinely done. Because even when Tatum does come back, we don't know what Tatum's going to be like. But even bigger than that, his supporting cast will be nowhere close to the level of consistent dominance it's been under for the past, not even for the past anything, for the entirety of his career. How he has always had a dominant team since he came into the league, that is going to stop full send today. Once this season ends, and especially if they don't win a title, they're done from the standpoint of having a championship roster. Because June Holiday is, I guarantee you, he's gone. He's gone. Derek White's gone. Pritchard might be gone. Al Horford might be gone. Porzingis might be gone. At least 3 of the 5 names I just named are almost assuredly will not be on Boston. They won't. They won't because they can't afford it. And so this team, this is bigger than just, oh, Tatum's out. And we hate for a budding star to have an injury that can potentially alter your career. We absolutely hate that. We despise that. We hate that this happened. We want this man to come back like KD better than before. I don't want to see a budding star die out in front of us. But at the same time, even beyond just him, this team will never be the same. Jaylen Brown ain't even safe from being on the roster anymore. This team is, their hopes for a title, their window of opportunity, it just closed. After this, it just closed. If they don't win it this year, hypothetically, we could see Jaylen Brown lead this team, beat the Knicks next game, take the series, and then go into Indiana, somehow win that and get to the finals. Who knows? It's unpredictable. But we know definitively, this team is done. 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 When looking at the framework of how they can be competitive in the NBA going forward. Because their roster will never be able to be the same. Won't be able to be the same. Now when it comes to the likes of hold on, real quick. Let me see. Gotta talk about T.O. Is there any other basketball stuff before I go to T.O.? Sergey, almost see this here. Sergey, oh my gosh, Sergey, what's going on with you? How you doing? Glad that you're back. I'm so sorry. I almost missed you. Appreciate you tuning into the show. Sergey, you mean so much. Glad that you're back. Glad that you're here. Hopefully you're enjoying all the conversation that we're having on the show right now. And let's see, Jay Will, if Scottie Pippen was with Clyde Drexler in Portland or with Dominic Wilkins in Atlanta, do they win a championship? If we're talking about prime Scottie with prime Drexler, when Drexler was the second best guard in the NBA, and there were talks that he was better than Jordan at one point in time when he was at the peak of his powers on that Portland team with Jerome Kersey. That's a good question. I know for a fact that if he wasn't on Chicago, there's a good chunk of teams that Jordan beat that he wouldn't have beat. And so there's an argument that without, if Jordan doesn't have Pippen against, and Pippen's on Portland, mind you, Pippen was top 5 in the NBA for the whole of his prime. He was seen as a top 5 player in the world. Genuine, he was. Yeah. I'd say yeah. It'd be hard for me not to say yeah. Dominique, though that team again could have been constructed better, but Pippen with Dominique, good gosh, great. Dominique with a good defensive stonewall and another dominant scoring option. With Doc Rivers being the facilitator like he was, Portland with Scotty and Clyde Drexler. I'll say this. I can't say for certain that they would win a title. It's more likely that yes, they would. But I know definitively if Pippen is with Dominique and or Wilkins, they beat Jordan. They do. They wholeheartedly do. I'm so serious. And this ain't because I'm trying to hate on Jordan. No, we're being real. What Scotty meant to Chicago, he's bringing that same stuff to everybody else. And he's one of the biggest reasons why Chicago turned into the behemoth that they turned into. They didn't evolve until Scotty got there. They didn't change into a winner until Scotty got there. This is before the likes of Horace Grant. This is before the likes of Ron Harper. Before the 96 team. The 72 win team. This is before that. And he still was able to, John Paxson, not Steve Kerr. And still, they were winning titles. With Scottie Pippen being the biggest difference maker before Dennis Rodman. So yeah, it's not out of the question to say that it couldn't happen, that he could have helped them win. But I know definitively they would have beaten Jordan. They would have beat Jordan in just about any scenario. If Scotty wasn't on Chicago and he was on Portland or Atlanta or any other team for that matter, they beat Jordan. Jordan doesn't have that record. He doesn't have six rings. I don't even know if he might not have won. And that sounds blasphemous, but it's not, because of how we watched his career unfold. What he needed and what stayed with him versus what he was before he got Scotty. There was a stark difference. There was a stark difference in team production. Mind you, this is the same Jordan who said, I would take a pay cut to have Larry Bird play with us in the era that we didn't want people teaming up with stars. We looked down on that. It's on paper that Jordan said that to reporters to get Larry Bird to come to Chicago. Whole nother conversation. But it shows you what he needed. And if Scotty ain't there, Jordan is beatable. Absolutely, he's beatable. If you are the Lakers, do you bail on LeBron or just stay with him until he retires? At this point, you can go either way. You stay with him until he retires, you're still a contender. And you're still a contender if you have him. If you don't have him, you trade him for a superstar. Or you go with the Sam Presti route. You trade him for a boatload of picks. And you can still turn into superstars. But you can't go wrong, really, with either way. I'd stick with them. Because what they got right now, they're one piece away from getting to a finals right now. They're a center away from getting to a legitimate championship opportunity right now. So it's like, at this point, you rock with them. I just heard WBO president say today on the Boxing Voice, that's what he said. People in the comments weren't happy. Yeah, you don't hear any. Hold on. Wait, Albert, a little bit confused on what you're saying. Yeah, you don't hear any Q instead of GG. Don't know what that means, Albert. if you could reframe that statement, because I have no clue what you're trying to say. Jay Will, so you just saw WBO president say he heard liquor. So the WBO president just said that he heard liquor and not the hard ER that we know is apparent. That is, now we can go back to Tio. Excuse me, because I got all my basketball stuff out the way and got through all the comments. Now we can go back to Tio like we wanted to initially. That is a bold-faced, stupid lie. It's a bold-faced, ridiculous. That is a cop-out. That is an ignorant way of thinking. That's an ignorant. That is being deliberately oblivious. You can't be that stupid. You can't be that stupid. Everybody who heard that clip, they know exactly what he said. And they're talking about Terrence Crawford, the same brother who checked him for saying the N-word before in person. And Tio acted like, oh, we good. We all good. I'm just trying to sell the fight. But nah, it didn't mean none of that. Acted like a punk when he got in his face. Because Crawford's like that. And Tio ain't. But Tio then, when he wants to go and stir the pot again, he goes back to the well that worked and did the exact same thing that we talked about him doing in the past. And we have discussed this before. One, it's a bold-faced punk move that you do this. And two, what did we say about this same type of stuff? We were having conversations that people just playing the game of using race to bait people into getting big fights, cause controversy, has been used since the beginning of time. Jack Johnson, it was used with him against the Great White Hope when he won the heavyweight title and broke the color barrier. We've seen this on so many occasions throughout boxing history. With any race, but especially with black people. That it is used as a means of contention, hype, draw, and not just to get under your skin, but also to demean. It's ultimately what people keep saying for marketability. But at the root of it, it is ultimately hate. It is not good that you play that game, especially as a minority. Why are you choosing to play a game that you know is rooted in legitimate hate just because you're trying to do what people did in the past and it's just a part of the sport? That's not good. And you should be above that. We talked about everybody should be above that on this very show. And you are making enemies for no good reason, going to a well that you have no business going into. And now you did this again after getting called out for it, after trying to defend yourself about it, after trying to go and make yourself seem like, oh, don't hate me. It's just a part of the sport and I'm not trying to mean anything by it. Now you go do it again. Nah, you mean something by it. Nah, there is something behind it. Nah, you are trying to make a fool out of Terrence Crawford and out of everybody else. Because you know exactly what that word means. And it's not the A, it's the hard ER. The hard ER. It's the original, not the remix. It's the master recording. It ain't the copy. We ain't talking about the retooled, refurbished version. We talking about the raw, uncensored. You are worth less than dirt. Word. The hard ER. The one that they strung black folks from a tree calling. The one that they skinned black people alive as they called them that. Yes, this is real. I'm not making this up. The one where they would have picnics around the bodies of hung black people and literally pick apart the body of black people hanging from trees, calling them the hard ER and taking them home as souvenirs or eating the flesh in front of people. having a showing, bringing your kids, that ER. You call, and you want to act like, oh, I don't mean nothing by it. Nah. This is it. You see why I said we can't let it pass? Do you see? I'm not trying to act like I know everything, but you see why I said we can't let this go? You see why I said we can't let stuff like that fly? We shouldn't use that in any context, because you see the slope that it garners. You see the slippery road that it now starts to bring in. You see exactly why I said T.O. shouldn't be saying this, should be held accountable, and it shouldn't be just a part of the game just to get and drum up marketability and interest. It's because now we see he'll keep on pushing the limit. He'll keep on pushing the boundary. Now he's going into the hard ER, trying to actually be hateful. I don't know what else you can say. This is the line that y'all said, oh, it's just the part of the game. Oh, ain't nobody crossing nothing. He's crossing something now. But you people look at me like I was crazy. Y'all, not y'all, but just saying y'all as just a overarching connotation. Y'all, in some pockets of the interaction, had people with my same sentiment seeming sensitive, seeming soft, seeming like, oh, we ain't, you can't be so harsh on this stuff, because we've been seeing this for years. It's nothing by it. It is always something by it. It's never just been, it's never just been a part of the game. I told y'all this months ago. I told y'all to stop T.O. months ago. I told y'all people can't let this ride months ago. When the whole when the whole, what was it? Baranchik? Baranchik versus Keyshawn Davis. The watermelon, the watermelon meal. The banana and watermelon meal. We talked about that, did we not? And we said, T.O., I don't know, I still don't know who sent it. But T.O. tried to take the bait, take responsibility to drum up some interest. And then using the N-word, but the version. But still, people let it slide. People let it fly. And now he's using the hard ER, talking about one of the greatest boxers of the generation that would destroy him if he ever got in the ring. And yet still, people want to say it's just a part of the game. It's ridiculous. I told you all, this was a problem that was going to snowball if it doesn't get nipped in the butt. And now we see what's going on. It's not nipped in the butt because he ain't getting checked. He ain't getting stopped. He ain't getting saying it's wrong. He ain't getting no restrictions putting up against him, because it is indeed a problem. It's indeed an issue. It is indeed a circumstance that is going to keep on snowballing into a demonstrative effect. T.O. is going to lose fans and respect, and the sport is going to hurt for it, because these same bad games that people say they want to just play because it's just a part of the game is going to be the main thing that's going to get these instances to happen more and more, because you just throw it up to the game. We can't let that happen. Collectively, we can't let that happen. This is why I said this ain't right. This is why I said it's got to stop early. Because now we see the boundaries going to keep getting pushed. How much can he try to go and say something? How much can he get away with? Then other boxers do that same thing. Next thing you know, the whole boxing regime is predicated on race hate and race baiting. Because people see, oh, that worked. Let me do it for my fight. Let me do it for my fight. Let me do it for my fight. Next thing you know, we got a race war every time we out in the ring. It's no longer just the sweet science. We got a race war happening in every single fight. Every single fan base is turned against each other. The rivalry of Hispanics versus blacks in the framework of great fights happen when they face off against each other. It's not a rivalry out of competitive fervor. Now it's a rivalry out of hate. White versus black, now it's a rivalry out of hate. It's a cycle that just spins into an abyss of danger. And this is why I was saying we had to stop it early. Exactly why I said we got to stop it early. And I warned you. I warned all of you months ago. And now we see exactly why I said this is why T.O. needed to be stopped. Exactly why. Exactly what. Let's see, Jerry, thank you for tuning into the show. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Happy that you're here. Let me see what you got to say on the matter. And again, we are in the championship rounds. We're getting ready to wrap it up, actually. But let me see. Black folks have allowed the word to become a part of pop culture, and they're large. Well, no. I can't say that either. I can't say that they're largely to blame because, again, we took the word back as power, and we used it for us because we can. Other people not being able to use it is not because it is, oh, we're holding something back. No, because it is our word. Use out of any connotation outside of us is hate. But we can say it to ourselves and we can use it as a badge of pride. That's ours now. And so for us, it is not negative. When used with us, by us, for us, we changed the meaning. And we definitely ain't using the hard ER. Like I said, we definitely using the hard ER. That, there's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that in the slightest. There's no excuse for that in the slightest. And part of that, we can use that same rhetoric with other races. And that is, again, a problem. So you can't put it on the race and say, oh, y'all use this. And so y'all white folks made this. Black people took it back. And now it's our fault that other people are using it again after it's known that the reason why we use it is because it's hateful and nobody else outside of us, because of the power that we took and what we turned that word into for us, is now a problem. No, it don't work like it. It don't work like it. It's never worked like that. And again, I'm not trying to get into socio-political or social status, stuff like that. All this conversation is indeed important. Right now, I just don't have the time to go into it all. But there is no blame on black folks for that word being used. There isn't. There is no blame for black folks. Oh, we use it in pop culture. That means it's y'all made it popular, so why can't everybody else say it? No, no. That's ignorant types of thinking, and that's an ignorant type of conclusion to get away from the root problem. That's what that is, and we can't let that slide. How about one of these slick black fighters we were consistently hearing about step up and shut his mouth? And again, I don't care who does it. Everybody needs to check him. Everybody needs to check him. It don't matter who. Crawford came and faced him up, man to man. Crawford came and met him face to face, confronted him about that same stuff. Right now, the quote unquote baddest black man in the land, in Terrence Crawford. And I use quote unquote just because, for the sake of conversation. Terrence Crawford, one of the baddest brothers in the world, genuine. He checked T.O. face to face, and T.O. still went back and did the same stuff. At that point in time, whose fault is it then? Crawford stood on business. Crawford went up to him straight up. Crawford did the whole arm around the shoulder like he's a mob boss or godfather. Looked him dead in his eyes and said, what was all that noise that you were saying? And made T.O. punk out. And made T.O. say on camera, yo, I didn't mean nothing by it. It's all just for up to the game. Don't take it seriously. I don't mean nothing by it. I love all of you. I love all my black fans, my black friends, black people as a whole. And he dapped them up, shook on it, and said, all right, that's what I thought. Crawford did that. And then he came back around and did this. I don't know what else you can say except for he wants to do this. He wants to be that. He wants to say that. He wants to have that as his rhetoric. And so at that point in time, there's no excuse or blame that you can or should ever have to put on anybody else for somebody else being belligerently ignorant and stupid and hateful with the rhetoric and incendiary, using the worst means possible. This ain't you having a great ability to talk. This ain't you being able to get under people's skin. This isn't you just being able to talk up a good game and get people mad at you. This ain't that. This ain't Rolly before he calmed down. This ain't Ali. This ain't Tyson Fury. This ain't any of those things. This is bad. In every sense of the word, it's bad. It's bad. It's objectively bad. And again, I'll say this for anybody. I don't want race to be used as anything to denounce somebody else for anybody. The whole conversation of what black boy too good. I'll never let a black boy beat me. I'll never let a Hispanic boy beat me. Or whatever the word we normally hear with the rhetoric. All of those statements, all still same thing, shouldn't be used. We talked about that when we talked about T.O. months ago. I've said all of the same stuff before. I'm not changing. Bernard Hopkins saying, "Oh, a black brother, I ain't never gonna let a white boy beat me." Devin Haney said, "I'll never let a white boy beat me." We have black fighters say stuff, again, not using slurs, but we've had black fighters say stuff derogatory off of the race of another fighter. We've had Hispanics say that about other fighters off of their race. A Cuban can never beat me. Whatever the case, all different versions of the same phrase. This race can never beat me. I'll never let this race beat me because they aren't on my level. We've heard that used beyond just with black folks before. And it's a problem then too. I ain't making an excuse for anybody. But we're talking about black people as the subject because this is the matter at hand for this particular topic. We're not getting away from that. And because of that, this is wrong. Just like Hopkins was wrong for what he said, Haney was wrong for what he said, and any boxer who uses that same level of rhetoric is wrong for what they said. We are not trying to play favorites here. We are saying this is a problem that will bleed more and more, not just with the black community, but it'll hurt all communities if we keep this up. This isn't right. And it doesn't need to be a part of the action when we look at the standpoint of the boxing regime. The sport is enough to go and prove yourself. This is a sport where you can literally die in the ring at any time off of the backbone of your own mind and fist. That's it. That is it. It is one of the most one-to-one individualistic lonely sports that you can have because it's literally you and another person and nobody else that can affect the outcome. Yes, you got coaching, but it's ultimately you are the one getting knocked out or knocking somebody out, winning and losing the fight. There is a solidarity that you have in this sport that is unlike any other sport around the globe. There's a oneness, a loneliness, a singularity where only you are to blame. We have so many more things that can help dictate the greatness of a fighter, their talent, their ability, their legacy, their greatness, without having to use race as a means to bring them down. There's so much you can critique in this sport without having to use race as a means to say somebody isn't better than you or use that to goat somebody into getting at you. There's so many more. Yet they keep going back to the same stuff. It is a problem. It's a problem. Across the board, it's a problem. But since we're talking about T.O. using the N-word, again, this time the harshest version of the word, the harder you are, unfiltered, twice, calling out again Terrence Crawford to go to reaction, that is despicable. And that is horrible. And that cannot stand, regardless of who he was. Does not matter. It does not matter. So I made that perfectly clear. It does not matter. Doesn't matter it's a part of the game. Doesn't matter it's been used before. It is wrong. Period. It's wrong. That's all I'm trying to say. We can't have that as a consistent thing. Because it's a snowball effect that everybody gets hit by. And nobody is able to have any sort of redeeming quality. Nothing comes good from that. That's why it doesn't need to be in the sport. You don't need it. You don't. You don't. You don't. You really don't. And so, it's so frustrating. Let's see. Albert, I figured Tio used DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber to send that. And if anyone checked the account on who paid once and they look at Tio and they look at that, Tio can't hide. And I'm like, there's so, again, this is a deeper conversation. This is a conversation that requires dedicated dialogue. These are conversations that need to happen. Let's be clear. Just because it's a sports show does not mean that this ain't something that doesn't need to be discussed. Again, sports and culture, race and ethnicity, politics and all, it all still blends into the same stuff. We dictate with strictly just for the most part, the news, predictions, reactions, reports, going through the future events, all that stuff. We stick with that, but that ain't gonna mean we're gonna run from stuff like that. Because stuff like this needs to be talked about. If we don't have these types of conversations, we won't be able to move forward. Period. We won't be able to fix these issues that happen in the sport. We don't want to run from this stuff. We don't. But it's also important that you make sure, like I always say, and again, I'll end on this because we do gotta go. We do gotta hit her. I know I see people chatting. I know I'm not trying to ignore it, but it's because of the fact that we were going 2 hours, 30 minutes, and we were supposed to keep this show a lot shorter. So, but I'll end it on this. We don't. Sports is a unique opportunity to have all manner of conversations come through and mold into a digestible dialogue. We do. It's a unique ethos where everything is able to be put on the table because of the ramifications of sports and how it is so intertwined with both the history and the current stance or current standing that any sport holds, that you can't get away from it and you can bring it up piggybacking off of said history. And so now, when we look at this whole situation, we can have these conversations and they can lead into dedicated spaces, dedicated dialogues. Sports is a great platform to start the conversation and mold it over into a full dedicated space to have actual thought out dialogue using some of the figures that we know in sports history. It's important that we don't run away from these conversations. Absolutely. And it's important that we and you and me, we're all in the same boat with this. Make sure that we study history and understand how, why, and when these types of words, ideologies, and sentiments became apparent, gained popularity, and blossomed into the behemoth that we know them as now. So we can understand how to fight it, and we can understand exactly how to combat it as it comes up. So we can all truly be, again, just together as people. Different color, but same thing. And it's great. Culturally different, but we're all still people. Personally, individually, we're all different, but we're all still people. We're all still humans. We all still can love each other. We all still can be around each other and should be able to learn from each other without having to feel like separation is an obligation. That's what these conversations are able to foster. An idea of not just change, but of understanding. So we can go back and understand, hey, this is why this word has meaning. This is why we use certain phrases and words and why other people can't. This is why this type of sentiment is wrong. This is why this type of sentiment is derogatory. This is why this type of frame of thinking can lead to a snowball effect of bad, consistent issues that will balloon again into what we've seen in the past, which is historic wrongdoing. It's important to learn history, know history, so that you can truly not just use history, but not repeat history also. So yes, it's good to have these conversations. It's necessary to have these conversations. That's why I had this talk. That's why we do this. That's why we have the chat open. So we can have people see and talk through exactly these types of sentiments, feelings, questions, concerns, all this stuff. So everybody can be on the same page. Because like I said, we're trying to learn, we're trying to grow, we're trying to help, we're trying to love. We're trying to make you a better fan, as well as just, hopefully, a better person, a more informed person, a more knowledgeable person, a more intellectual person. Not saying you're not smart already, because again, you're listening to this show, so undoubtedly, you're smart. Oh yeah, you got IQ going out the wazoo, absolutely. But again, in all seriousness, this show is a barometer or is a medium to help you and to help me, so we can all grow together, not just in sports but in life as well. And hopefully, off the backs of Tio, starts a conversation that needs to be had, not just in the realm of sports, but in the whole of just culture, not just in America but beyond, so everybody can truly get past and get through and destroy a lot of these racial, cultural issues, problems, stagnations, and potholes that we keep running into in our daily life. And hopefully I'm helping you do that. And hopefully I'm helping you get a new perspective. Excuse me. And just doing the best I can. But with all that being said, we gotta get out of here, because again, I do have to go. But this has been a very well documented show, a very phenomenal show. Y'all just watching with me, your host, John Lee West. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the show. Y'all have been great. Y'all have been wonderful. We appreciate your time, your energy, your effort, your love and support. We can't wait to see you back on Thursday. That's right. Going back to our regularly scheduled programming. Again, we're going to be back in the flow of things. Everything's going to be like it needs to be. And we will indeed be having more talks, more conversations, more debates, more questions, more comments, concerns in the NBA, in boxing, and everything else in between that you all want to discuss. Leave a like on the stream before you leave. Comment your thoughts and opinions on whatever you like on the show. Subscribe to the channel. Share the show with everybody that you know. And be back here on Thursday as we got more to cover in the world of sports and beyond. I've been John Lee West. Y'all are wonderful. Peace and love. We are out here. Yes, sir. We'll see you all on Thursday.